sunrise, Mother Nature herself basking in the glow of the Jays' win. So proud of them. Incredible night last night. And we sit corrected. I said the game went past midnight. To us, anything past 9 o'clock is past midnight. But it was just before midnight, but it was 11 innings. So.
Did they go to 12:30? Again, I was asleep. Was it 11:30?
11:30.
Okay. There you go. But they were yelling outside my window until 12:30. That's where I get the confusion. Okay, question for you. Who came up with Thanksgiving first, Canada or the U.S.?
Canada.
You are correct.
History lessons.
There you go. Now, I mean, Canada didn't exist at the time, but would still happen within our borders. So as we head towards a Thanksgiving weekend, the New York Times was doing, I think it was a food piece, and they were just saying, who knew Canada had a Thanksgiving a month before? Who knew they had Thanksgiving? Who knew it was a month before ours?
This is the New York Times.
Yeah.
I can't believe they've dedicated something to their ignorance like this. Why would they admit this?
You know what? I don't call it ignorance. I mean, Canada is like a blip on the radar for the U.S. where they have more people in one state than we have in our entire country. So I can understand how they may be ignorant to some of the things that we have going on.
Because we don't have a huge Macy's parade, so they were never privy to the fact that we celebrated Thanksgiving.
But this is my
our
question
neighbor?
now. Is it better to have Thanksgiving 1 month before Christmas, that the Americans do, or is it better to have it two months before, as Canada does? I think it's better now. It's its own separate Thanksgiving holiday. It doesn't get... It's Christmas. It's the beginning of Christmas for the Americans.
I think it's too close. There's too much
Yeah.
going on all at once, and then you have New Year's that rolls out. It's a lot of pressure.
You know what? You lose what's important about Thanksgiving, and that is the thanks part. Because you're talking about Black Friday and you're talking about Black Monday, Cyber Monday, and that, but you're gimme,
Yeah.
as opposed to saying thank you and just letting it go.
It all gets lumped in. And there, by the way, there are a ton of people in Canada working in the U.S. and they celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I really find it hard to believe that some place like New York Times, where they're privy to all sorts of people who come from all over the world to work within the industry for New York Times, do not realize that we celebrate our own. I know there's tons of Canadians that celebrate Canadian Thanksgiving and they invite all the Canadian friends over, even though they live in Los Angeles or New York, right? It's an odd story.
You know what? I don't blame anybody. I mean, we're ignorant about what happens in other nations as well.
Right, perhaps far away, not next door.
Well, it's kind of hard not to be. It's kind of hard to be ignorant about anything that happens in the U.S. simply because you know, you're sleeping in bed with an elephant. I mean, it's huge. They influence our culture. They influence everything. But one of the things the foodies at the Times also thought was they were trying to find something uniquely Canadian as for their dinner, and they couldn't. Because, you know, and that is true. Our dinners are the same. It's turkey, it's stuffing, it's
mashed potatoes,
sweet potatoes,
pumpkin pie.
Yeah, so I mean, that's great.
It's delicious.
It is.
It really is
now,
delicious.
the one difference they're finding is a lot of Canadians tend to celebrate Thanksgiving on the Sunday. A lot of people do, as opposed to the holiday Monday.
This year we're doing the Monday, you?
I'm not sure yet because kids are all over the place, so we just got to get everybody together.
That's the thing. It
yeah.
becomes the challenge.
Yeah. So that's interesting. So Thanksgiving, first held in North America, by the Europeans too. Our First Nations in both sides of the border celebrated Thanksgiving long before Europeans even got here.
To reap the harvest and be grateful for the food.
Martin Frobisher and his crew in the Eastern Arctic in 1578 celebrated, I believe in Newfoundland, in 1578, the Pilgrims, which is considered to be, you know, Plymouth Rock, considered to be the beginning of the American Thanksgiving, was 1621.
There you go, New York Times. Now you know.
The official holiday in Canada was 1879. And I believe that it was not made an official holiday in the U.S. until a few years after that.
I do look forward to it. It's nice to know we're going into a long weekend with this beautiful weather before all the madness of Christmas shopping and putting together family events and all that stress that comes along with it. It's a nice little...
Sorry, I'm being distracted.
He's very
Amber,
distracted because there's live animals,
Amber,
including...
what? Amber keeps
including we're ruffling the feathers of a silky chicken.
What are we looking at?
Silky chicken. It's beautiful.
Amber says there's a silky chicken over there.
Maybe we should stop all this Thanksgiving talk because the silky chicken's got sweet little delicate hair.
That's right, that's right.
And it does, we're ruffling its feathers. It really is beautiful. Look at the hair on this beautiful chicken.
Am I right too? We're gonna have a kangaroo come in a little bit as well.
I also hear we're gonna have. You've heard of a guinea pig? We're gonna have a mini pig, a micro mini pig.
So it's not just a mini pig, and it's not just a micro pig. It's a micro mini pig.
But listen to the chicken.
Aww.
I love it. By the way, that's what my hair looked like this morning before I had it tamed. I relate to the silky chicken. Isn't it adorable?
And maybe
It's so pretty.
So coming up a little later on Breakfast Television, we will get it straight from the beak. Why did the chicken cross the road? We'll find out for sure on that coming up.
To say hello from the other side.
Yes, that's right. Poor Mike Epple. Well, not poor Mike Epple. He got to see the Adele concert. He bought his tickets back in December. He didn't know, oh my gosh, how did I know the wild card game was going to be the same night? But he said,
okay.
Still a good time. But he was here he was like this during the Adele concert.
Yeah, well, that's good. Multi-screens. It was very exciting.
She has one more show?
She has one more show.
One more show.
And when during a ballad, he
Two.
was like, yes.
Two
It's
more
all
shows.
about the Jays. Oh, two more. Okay.
Lots more still to come on Breakfast Television, including why we're already planning your spring garden, and you better be as well.
Taking off your clothes, taking off my clothes, give me more.